we are wrestling up. Pretty much if we can get to guard and they start working their way backwards, our kids know we're coming up like they got a rocket in their rear, right? Coming straight up through the mat and they're off the mat and they're coming down on a single, okay? Same thing for us. Now we just got to recognize the point at which we want to go, especially when it comes to half guard. And they're going to give you these times many times in the middle of your match. So the thing that you need to do here is when you're rolling in here, you guys are getting your time grappling. As soon as it looks like they're giving you a kind of a backwards posture, like they're trying to work away from you, you got to go. Like if you start to feel like this hand is getting elongated, this frame up here, because he's trying to work away, here's what's going to happen. So he's initially in, okay, he starts to work away from your frame, get distance, and he's going to try to come back and pass around the side. Well, your moment is gone. So if he clears this frame, then he starts trying to knee cut. And then you're in trouble, right? Because we had our moment to wrestle up under all this. So imagine that what we're trying to do here, we have the angle on them, especially if they stand up. You guys know, any of you higher level guys that roll with me much, you know way better than to stand up on your feet if I got you in half guard. Why? Because the second you stand up to your feet, I'm snatching that single and you are going down. It's basic. We should all be able to do that. We're looking for them to work backwards so we can wrestle up and come up on that single. This is our base, this is bread and butter for us, right? So if we get to half guard, working this frame, he's not really like he's pushing in kind of right here, and then all of a sudden, unexpectedly, he starts to work his way back. Okay? Legs gotta drop, and I work up to build up to my what? Okay? Building up to the hand. Head goes in, fold the legs back in an S, because now this leg becomes my drive leg. I'm rolling up on this shin. So from here, now I'm snatching this single and coming right up on this, and down he goes. Okay, now we're going to work this from a kneeling posture. We're going to work it from a standing posture so you get both ways. Now that's the standing. So if I got him in half, and make no mistake here, this distinction, if he just pops his leg out right here and puts his foot on the mat, that's still kneeling. Still consider that kneeling, all right? We have to dive under all of this to catch that single. What do I mean by that? Well, when I build up to my elbow, I got to dive under all this to catch this single. Once I'm underneath him, I got it. You can't try to come up like this though, chest to chest, where you're fighting like this, okay? We have to duck the shoulder down and come up underneath it from the bottom end. So at this one point where we're laying back here like this and he's kind of pressing in, he's doing all this garbage here, then all of a sudden he decides to just sit back and kind of regather himself. And many times it looks similar to this. He'll have half guard, hyper aggressive with the pass. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna pass. There's my knee cut attempt, ain't working. Then he just goes, hey. That was your moment right there to wrestle up. Because most of the time, they'll sit back like this. This is a bad habit that all passers have. You guys remember in our passing series where I told you we were gonna start getting on to you for doing this. If you're in the middle of a passing sequence and you're being aggressive with your passing, don't have that reset moment where you just go, gotta regather, right? Don't have that. As best as possible, eliminate that from your game. He will do that. All passers do that unless they've been instructed otherwise. Unless they've been told that's a weakness in a passing game, right? So don't have that break, but look for it on your end. So at the moment that I'm passing, and even if I'm not really being hyper effective here, even if I drop down, notice why did he not come up all the way? He tried, he thought about it. He kind of went like that. The reason he didn't was because I didn't just go like this and expose my core. Right? That's why he didn't sit up, because I stayed down on him like this. If I want to reset, how am I resetting? I'm resetting way back and I'm not exposing my core, giving him the ability to go where? Up underneath me. I'm not going to give him that chance. Okay? But 9 out of 10 passers don't think about that, especially when they vary their ranges for their pass. If they're passing high, when they decide to start passing low, what do you see most of the time? There's your moment. When they expose the core, right? So partners, We're gonna do this. Got our knee shield in. Gotta be a good partner here. I don't care what you do with the knee, it can be up, it can be down. Got our frame, okay? I'm gonna build up. At some point, he's gonna decide, yeah, I'm gonna take that little game break. Right when he does that, I don't care if he has to say, go, go, go. That's your moment. You're gonna come up underneath, catch the single. Now there's one important thing. You gotta drop this leg. Okay, you're gonna get all tied up. This has gotta get dropped. So once you hook them, let's go ahead and drop this. Because trying to come up with this grapevine locked in is a beast. It's not fun. So once you get your single hooked and you got your posture out here, your base, go ahead and drop that, and the next thing that you're doing is you're gonna extract it. So you can wrestle up on your single or your double. We got it? Right now, we're wrestling up on just moving backwards. So when he moves backwards, okay, let's work on that. Let's work on high and low. So that was low. He's gonna stand up. When he starts to move backwards from me, just like he just did, when you guys go on your singles, make absolutely sure you're not doing this. Chest to knee connection. Looped as far as you possibly can, okay? I like to loop all the way around. If you can't see what I'm doing on the backside, I'm doing this. Grabbing here, okay? I'm not doing this. All this movement, he can twist the knee, turn the knee down, okay? Chest to knee, completely wrapped around. We got it? Let's get it done. 1, 2, 3. I have a lot of half guard. Hopefully, by now, you guys are feeling a lot more confident using your half guard. This is the longest and most in-depth we've ever went into on any one particular block of instruction. It's been a long block. Finishing this week out, that'll be the end of half guard. So again, it's all been posted on YouTube. If you need to go back and look at it, every single technique that we've done has been there. So if you haven't looked at it, feel free to go back and look. Now, this one right here is, everybody knows it's called the dummy sweep for a reason. It makes you feel real dumb when you get caught in it. It's even more prominent from here. It's really, really able to be got here, especially when a guy stands up. Because what happens effectively is, when they stand up and you're in half guard, it kind of eliminates it. I mean, half guard is really effective, especially your traditional half guard is really effective when their knees are down. So if he raises this one, I'm still pretty good. If this one comes up, I'm still pretty good on my half guard, which is kind of what we were doing with the kids, right? Works fine. If he drops it and raises the other one, it's fine. But if he stands, what winds up happening here is everything, that whole assembly kind of slides down. Now there's a bunch of guard structures here, a bunch that we can go into. They're way more complicated that you guys will get a chance to play with here. But as we start to work into basically just sitting back up, so essentially, come back down. He pops up, I'm up on my elbow, I go to my foot break. Okay, right here is where he's gonna do one of two things. Either he's gonna address this foot, which most of the time is what they're gonna do. They're gonna address that foot on the hip 9 out of 10 times. So we can pretty much just guarantee that's where they're going with it. So as soon as we understand that that's gonna happen, this foot's now gonna flank inside and go shin to shin. Okay, it's a real quick movement. So from preventing the backside movement, we're gonna open this knee up, which is also gonna stop it as well. Okay. So I still got my front frame. This foot is gonna start getting addressed. As soon as I see him move to that foot, this shin goes inside, and that is exactly what's gonna happen. He's gonna push it right down the middle. This one's gonna ride to the mat, that one's gonna go there, and back he goes. Hit it more than any other sweep probably, okay? So I'm here, he pops up. As soon as he pops up, I got that foot break, and he addresses it. This foot's gonna go down. I'm gonna push with my shin, and I'm gonna pull. Down he goes, I'm catching. Let's work on a nice pass sequence. Let's come up on top. Now this is a little bit different than my seated hook sweep where we're launching it from right here. Most of you guys will remember, we're here and we're playing, we've got doubles, boom, there's that. Similar, but we're launching this one from kind of a tilted butterfly where we're off to the side. So it's quite a different angle here. The one that you're gonna have to focus on the most is gonna be that right foot, and there is a pull. So try not to go too low behind the Achilles. If you go too low, he kind of just steps outside. So what I mean by that, I'm here, foot brake is on, he grabs, this foot comes down. If I go here, he's simply got the ability to step out of it. Okay, now, yeah, we can still wrestle up. We got some more opportunities off of this, but we want to hook sort of right back here to where if that leg lifts, I can stick with it. It gives me a little bit of space below, so it's going to fall some as he lifts it before. There's that little bit of second there before my brain processes he's lifting his foot. I need to have that, just that little bit of, my foot's probably going to slide 3 to 4 inches down. If it's down here, that gives me no space left to play with. So I need to be higher here. Okay, and notice the angle anyway, I'm pulling back down. So my foot is going to slide down to the bottom anyway. Okay, so I'm here. He's up, foot goes in. As soon as I feel that, and that foot steps back down, it's got to come back down. He can't just leave it floating out here in the nether. He's got to have his foot down. As soon as it comes down, I'm going to catch, pull, and let's pass. You want to go ahead and square back up for a standard pass, fine, doesn't matter. Okay. Part one is that. As he stands up, he addresses that foot, and let's say he pushes it down. Now, here's the last little piece. We just completely missed getting this inside. A lot of times where you miss this is this right here. You don't perceive that he's pushed this down and pinned it in time to get this foot down to start work. So from here, I'm already on my elbow. This foot was up here. I'm going to rock forward. I'm going to ankle pick. Come up. I got 2 options: ankle pick or dummy sweep. Right? Now the ankle pick, remember, we don't have the head control. We're pushing. Okay. So when we push, you want to push his body over his outside of his foot. The same thing as going for the ankle pick and take the head over the outside of the pinky toe. You try to hit the ankle pick with his head right here, you're going to have all kinds of problems. Okay? So when you push, as you're built up, I push off enough to catch that, and then I'm going to pull it to me as opposed to locking it in place. Does that make sense? This is no-gi. So being no-gi, we have to change some things a little bit. The first one, you'll have to go kind of slow because this takes a minute to hit. Here, here, he pushes down, that foot went inside. Catch, push, pull. And make sure you catch that foot on the way up, right? Second, we're gonna just go for that nice ankle pick. He's here, I pushed here, I missed. Boom, down he goes. Close. Here we go, 1, 2, 3.